Hi friends, yes, welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to talk you about healthcare associated infections. So let me have a look at healthcare associated infections. Yes, and yeah, you can see a beautiful demonstration of a visualizing microorganism. So these are hospital acquired, or they also called as healthcare associated infection, which we commonly refer them as HAI. Yes, what are these healthcare associated infection, also known as nosocomial infection or hospital acquired infection or hospital associated infection? Also, occupational infections among the staff. Those are referred to as healthcare associated, which is seen commonly in healthcare workers. For patients, infection that first appear 48 hours or more after hospital admission or within 30 days after the discharge. Now, some statistics for the HAI affects less than that of 10% of all inpatients, delays discharge, cost is double than that of what was there for no infection. Show increasing trend among the patients and the staff. Rise in HAI, healthcare associated infection, has a result of four factors. First thing, it is seen commonly in the crowded hospital condition. New microorganisms which are coming across with each and every patient intake. Increasing people with a compromised immune system. Increasing bacterial resistance by MRSA or resistant gram-negative bacteria. Now, HAI is reducible by 10 to 30%. Now, moving on to epidemiology, yes, can be exogenous, external organism, and could be endogenous, that is, accidentally coming across with your own normal flora or opportunistic normal floral infection. Now, hospital susceptibility or the host susceptibility is important factor in the development of HAI. That is, the person's immune system, person's his or her own normal flora can tend to be pathogenic. Medical equipments and the procedures which we conduct, surgery, are often responsible for infections. What are the modes of transmission? It could be contact, handborne, which is the most common way of transmission. Second would be airborne. Third would be oral route. Fourth is the parenteral route, and fifth is the vector-borne. I'll repeat again: contact, handborne, airborne, oral route, parenteral route, and the vector-borne. First thing, the contact, most common of all. Direct, that is a physical contact. Example, when a staff turns a patient, gives the patient a bath or examination of the patient, yes, the doctor or a clinician or a staff member is in direct contact with the patient physically. Indirect contact transmission involves contact of a host with a contaminated intermittent object. For example, it could be contaminated instruments, needles, dressings, contaminated gloves that are not changed between the patient, contaminated surface by needles, which could cause lot of infection. Dried blood can transmit hepatitis B and C. Coming to the risk of HAI, yes, you can see the hepatitis B can live outside the body at least 7 days. Hepatitis C virus can leave the body for about 16 hours to 4 days time. Vector transmission, transmitted through insects like mosquitoes and flea. Commonly examples is dengue or dengue, which we call it as. Airborne transmission, tiny droplet nuclei that remain suspended in air. Example is tuberculosis or TB. Droplet transmission, yes, a person sneezing around you, coughing around you, spreading tiny droplets of microorganism could be a easy source of getting infection. So droplet generated by sneezing, coughing, or respiratory tract procedure like suction could be a source of transmission. For example, in case of influenza and tuberculosis. Agents of healthcare associated infection, yes, you can see them, the beautiful people of microbiology, virus, bacteria and fungi. Hospital procedure pose many risks to health associated infection like nebulizers mask, catheterization, IV procedure, dressing, bedpans, urinals and the dirty couch. Predisposing factors for HAI. First thing, the most important is the age factor. Young children and elderly people are more prone to the infection, which is acquired by hospital or healthcare setup. Severity of illness, medical condition, what prolonged infection they have or a simple infection could lead to it. Immunocompromised state, malnutrition and obesity. Common sites of HAI. Patients in labor room or in ICU. Patients undergoing invasive procedures or operation. Areas of hospital with poor ventilation could be a common site where you can see healthcare associated infections. 5 common types of HAI. Yes, you can go through it. Urinary tract infection, surgical wound infections, pneumonia, specifically ventilator associated pneumonia, skin infections, bloodstream infection or which we call it as bacteremia. In case of staff, yes, we can see upper respiratory tract infection, URTI, conjunctivitis, pertussis and tuberculosis. Yes, these are the common sites of infection where you can see highest is the urinary tract infection, followed by the respiratory, then the surgical and then goes with skin and bacteremia and others. Yes, you can see the truth behind the urinary tract infection. These microorganisms which keep poking them, E. coli. So let us go on with the urinary tract infection, which is the most common cause of HAI, healthcare associated infection. 80% of UTI are associated with indwelling catheters. Surgical site infections, yes, which is more frequent and definition is mainly clinical, like pleural discharge around the wound or at the insertion site of the drains or spreading the cellulitis from the wound. You can see redness, you can see pus formation or pus discharge from that particular region. The infection can be endogenous or exogenous. Next one is nosocomial pneumonia or which we call it as ventilator associated pneumonia. Most important are patients on ventilators in ICU. Now recent and progressive radiological opacity of the pulmonary parenchyma has shown people with pleural sputum and recent onset of fever are more prone to this deadly disease or they are more vulnerable to ventilator associated nosocomial infections. Prevention and control of HAI, yes. Observance of aseptic technique is must. Frequent hand washing, especially between the patient, is necessary and it has to be followed. Cleaning and disinfection of linen and furnitures are needed. PPE, yes, wearing of gloves for 2 reasons. First thing, provide a protective barrier and prevent contamination of hands. Reduce likelihood that microorganism present on hands will be transmitted to patient during any procedure. Everybody doing it? Yes. Wash your hands. Obviously during the corona season of this era, we are washing our hands. So you can see that 20 seconds at least you need to wash your hand. How? Use a soap or a running water. Rub your hand vigorously for about 20 seconds. Wash all the surfaces including the back of the hands, wrist, fingers and between the fingers. Rinse well. Yes, here you're supposed to follow the 7 Welles 12 steps of hand washing for 20 seconds. Rinse well, dry hands using a paper towel. Turn off the water using a paper towel instead of a bare hands. So when you need to wash your hands? Yes, after coughing or sneezing, after using a bathroom, before and after eating or cooking. before and after treating wounds, before and after handling the shared food or eatables. Your health is in your hand, remember that. Next, the most important one is the hand hygiene techniques which we are supposed to use to prevent the HAI. Now, you can get, that is the healthcare people like us, can get about hundreds to thousands of bacteria on your hands or my hand by doing a simple task like assisting a patient up in the bed, touching patient's gown or a bed sheet. Hand washing is important because 80% of disease spreads through or by your hands. Hand hygiene. Hand hygiene. Single most effective intervention to reduce the cross transmission of HAI is the hand hygiene. Yes, the next thing is sterilization of the instrument. Whichever instrument you use, yes, it has to be properly sterilized. For example, nebulizer, oxygen mask, use of a single use of a disposable items. Patient isolation is needed in case of pertussis, tuberculosis where it is spreading through aerosols. Avoidance of the medical procedures that can lead to HAI like urinary catheters or catheterization. HAI, what is most important? Effective surveillance and action by an infection control team to reduce the infection rate. Obviously, a large scale hospital or a small scale hospital, definitely they will have an infection control team which is monitoring and regulating every day the entire procedure of HAI. Surveillance and action will be done by infection control team. The important role of this team is to monitor the compliance and practice to prevent HAI. Example of HAI like tuberculosis, yes, in a most crowded places of a hospital setup. Next one, yes, you can see a graph demonstration which is showing in case of Malaysian population where TB cases are getting frequently higher. Yes. Next thing is the control and prevention measures of TB cases among the HCWs, that is the PPE needed. N95 respirator must be used to reduce the high risk of TB areas. TB ward, chest clinic, isolation room, procedure room, for example sputum and induction room. Then to use N95 mask and patient to use surgical mask. So let me conclude. In addition to the TB guidelines with the environment and engineering, administrative and respiratory procedures or protection controls, HCWs, healthcare workers, must change their behavior towards healthy and a safer working culture in order to prevent and control the TB infection at any workplace. Thank you.